All right, guys, so with all of the AirPod clones that are out there now, I've done videos on them. I've seen so many different model numbers. It's companies that are trying to come in with the same packaging, the exact same features, the exact same look, trying to clone the sound, everything like that. We've got an interesting product here. So the product we're talking about are the Urbanpods, basically a matte black version of the AirPods 2 with the wireless charging case, even though these come in at $60 as opposed to Apple's coming in at $200. Price difference wise, there's a huge difference. Everything else, there's not. But let's check out some of the features and what you get inside the box. Now, the first thing I want to point out, because this is the biggest selling point in my opinion with AirPods, is the H1 chip. So basically, if you have an iPhone or an iPad or a MacBook, it's that feature where as soon as you pop the lid, you see the thing pop up on the display that lets you just easily connect. Like, you don't have to go through your Bluetooth settings. You don't have to do any of that stuff. The Urbanpods work the exact same way. As soon as you pop it open, you see the display come up, you hit connect, boom, it's done. But as far as your Android connection, you just go in the Bluetooth options, pair it just like you would any other device, and it works fine. Now, as far as the specs go, these are Bluetooth 5.0, and I had no issues with lag with watching videos. I didn't have any drop connections. And in the same vein as like Apple products, it doesn't say an official IP rating. But I will say, as far as like sweating, light rain, and light, drizzles and stuff like that, you'll be fine. Just make sure you don't submerge these into water. Now, as far as what you get inside the box, again, that's pretty simple as well, because these don't have the silicone ear tips, same way that the AirPods don't, but all you're getting is a black lightning charging cable. So if you're already somebody that has a bunch of lightning cables lying around, you'll be happy to know that you can charge them that way. These also are a Qi wireless charging case. So you can come in and just sit this on a wireless charger and it'll start charging. And see, in my opinion, that's very convenient, but that's also what makes these pretty incredible, because they're only charging $60 for where Apple is charging you $200 to have that feature. Now, as far as the battery life goes, this is something that I don't think is very impressive on these. You're getting somewhere between 3 to 4 hours of use. I got closer to 3 hours. So 3 hours, a lot of people are not going to be happy with. But at the same time, most people do not use their earbuds for longer than 3 hours anyway. But with the charging case, you're going to get around 4 charging cycles, which is going to get you around 15 hours total. So again, battery life is not on the impressive side, but neither are the AirPods. Now, as far as the Urbanpods themselves, if you hold them side by side with the AirPods, they're identical. They look exactly the same. Basically, the Urbanpods look like if you went out and bought the AirPods 2 and then you went through colorware to have like a custom paint job to have these look matte black. So if you're somebody that's worried about people judging you like you didn't get the actual AirPods, I don't think that's something anybody's gonna be able to tell. Now, as far as your controls go, these do use touch controls. Now, it does control your play, pause, skip track forward, go backwards, but there is no volume control, which again, matches the AirPods. It's always been something that's pretty disappointing with the AirPods, and the Urbanpods do the exact same thing. Now, you can summon your smart assistant and tell it to turn the volume up, but I just, in general, like to do that on the earbuds themselves. And so as far as you guys that like to use your earbuds individually, you'll be happy to know that you can use either the left or the right by themselves. Now, as far as the mic quality goes, because again, that's something that is a strong selling point with the AirPods, I think the Urbanpods did a very nice job with the microphone, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
All right, guys, so here is a mic test using the Urbanpods so that you get an idea of what it would sound like when you take a call. And so here is the mic test with a crowd noise being played in the background, so you get an idea of what it would sound like when you take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound. The sound is one of those things that I've never given Apple too much credit for, because I don't think the AirPods were ever anything that sounded incredible. And so the Urbanpods basically take this sound and give you a little bit more punch in the low end, and in my opinion, gave me a little bit more clarity in the treble. So they took a sound that I wasn't impressed with and made it slightly better. Again, that's impressive considering $200, $60. So if you're somebody that listens to a lot of different genres, these do an excellent job of not having a congested sound. It's not a very detail-oriented sound, so the treble I would have liked to have seen boosted a little bit more just to get a little bit more detail. The bass is not overpowering, but the bass is better on the Urbanpods than it is the AirPods, because I always felt like the bass in the AirPods just always lacked. I think the mids, same way, has its presence where vocals always sound very clear in my opinion. It doesn't sound like anything that's in the background. It doesn't sound like anything that's getting lost. Now, as far as Soundstage and sound imaging, because of the design where it doesn't use the ear tips to just block out your surroundings, these do sound fairly open. And that's because you're still able to hear a lot of your surroundings while you're listening to your music. So it just gives you the illusion that you're in a more open environment. But as far as the detail of hearing where instruments and stuff are coming from, this more or less sounds like you have two speakers. It doesn't sound like you're in a concert hall and being able to accurately tell that a guitarist is here, a drummer is here, things are coming from here. It does a fairly decent job, but again, I think a lot of that is due to the design of not having ear tips in your ear. So overall, I think it's a great alternative to a very expensive product, where really my only cons are, as good as the matte black looks, this is going to show fingerprints and finger oils a lot easier than the white pair. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more battery life, as to where I think 3 hours is kind of on the low end. I think if it would have been 5, that would have been nice. But again, we're comparing it to a product that doesn't get great battery life in the first place. So overall, I think it's an interesting product. I think it is a very, very good buy, especially if you're somebody that's interested in AirPods, or even with the holidays. If you know that there is a kid or somebody that wants AirPods, then you just don't want to spend that kind of money. In my opinion, you're getting a product that I think has better sound. I prefer the matte black look just because it's not as obnoxious as the white, and it's really for a price tag that's not as much. Now, if you guys are interested in checking these out, there will be a link below. I was told there's only 2,500 of these made, so I don't know how long they'll be available. I'm assuming because of the holidays, this probably will sell out fast, but who knows? But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.